Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Asim. I am working as DevOps engineer. In this video, I will be covering the monitoring of our servers and also I will cover the monitoring of Docker and Docker host monitoring. So let's begin. And to set up all this infrastructure, I will set up the Docker containers and what we will be doing. Let me show you the repository I've created for you. We will be using Telegraf, InfluxDB and Grafana. And what it does, we are going to install the Telegraf agent on our application servers, and we are going to monitor the application servers along with the Docker containers. And also, we are going to set up the InfluxDB and Grafana on a monitoring server. And we are going to set up on AWS, but it is not necessarily that you should always use the AWS cloud. You can set up this infrastructure on your local environment or any other cloud environment. So let's begin. So guys, what I will be doing, I will be launching three Amazon Linux EC2 machine, and we are going to set up all the infrastructure as we have discussed, and we are going to monitor the containers along with the servers as well, or EC2 machines. So let's click next, and I'm going to select T3 medium machine for this demo. Okay, click next. I will be creating one role, so I don't want to do SSH with the keys. Simply I'm going to log in into these machines via SSM. So click role. So I'm going to select EC2, click next. Attach policy, SSM policy, we are going to attach type course, select next. Next, I'm going to call this my role. You can give any name, and I'm going to create it. And if I navigate to this machine again, simply refresh it. You will see that this my role is available now. Click next. 8 GB size is fine, as this is the just demo. So let me call it first of all, call it Docker. And if I navigate to configuration size, I want to launch 3, and click review, click launch, proceed without the keep here. So you will be seeing that 3 machines are going to be launched. View launch, sorry, click on this, and simply you will see 3 Dockers machine. So one of this machine I'm going to call this app, and on this app server I need to install the Telegraf agent. Telegraf is going to push the logs to InfluxDB, and through InfluxDB all the scraping is going to be done, and we are going to have our visualization on the Grafana. So everything is pretty much automated. I've created scripts for that. Let me finish this. So this is the Telegraf graf. Okay, so this is our app server, and I'm going to copy this. So call this Telegraf graph, and I'm going to call this our monitoring server. Monitoring. In this server, we will have our, let me write for this you for understanding. We will our influx DB and Grafana. So now what we will be doing, we are going to simply do the setup on this particular server. I'm going to connect this server. So what you need to do, you should install the Docker and Docker Compose, all that stuff. But what I have done, I have created uh, everything for you guys. I mean, the scripts are going to be available. So simply, what you need to do, simply copy this script, and it will install all the required packages. So I'm going to say vim, call this package dot shell. So I need all the packages, and we are going to simply make it executable and run it. Okay, run it. What it does, it is going to install the Docker along with that Docker Compose version 1, Docker Compose version 2, and everything is going to be available in a moment. So you see we have Docker Compose version 2 along with that system CTL status of Docker. Docker is up and running. So what we will be doing now, we are going to set up InfluxDB and Grafana. So what you have to do, simply navigate to this and navigate to this area. And what we will be doing, simply we are going to um, set up our Grafana and Telegraf. So, okay, this is the Docker file we have. Okay, this is not the one we need. Okay, let me pause the video and update that particular file. So guys, I've updated the file. What you need to do, simply copy this file, and we're going to click on raw, and simply I'm going to copy this. And what I will be doing, I'm going to navigate to this terminal. I'm going to type docker compose .yml, and I'm going to paste it. So the command we need to make this container up and running. So what you need to do, navigate to this section, and I will be explaining what this file is. We are going to use InfluxDB and Grafana as we discussed in the monitoring server, and um, Telegraf is going to send all the metrics to this InfluxDB, and through InfluxDB we are going to monitor all the stuff in Grafana. So go back, sorry, and I'm going to actually have saved it, committed, and what I will be doing, navigate to this Telegraf. So as I show you, this is the Docker Compose YAML file, and you just need to copy it and paste it. So then what we will be doing, we are going to use these command in the Docker Compose. So these are the Docker Compose command which we are going to do. This is the InfluxDB and Grafana. These are the more extra command I've already provided. So simply what I will be doing, I will be copying this command Docker Compose project name InfluxDB Grafana. Copy this and paste it in this particular terminal. And if everything goes well, we should have our InfluxDB and Grafana are going to be up and running. So guys, we are using the Docker Compose version 2. This is quite a bit much more faster than Docker Compose version 1. So I do highly recommend to use this. So you see currently we have our InfluxDB and Grafana up and running. So if I navigate to this EC2 machine, you see we have a security visit one, so I'm going to update the ports, or I will be allowing ports. So I'm going to remove this and I'm going to add this. We don't want SSH. So I'm going to allow 8086. Okay, and also I will be adding 3000. So 3000, just try to make it, make sure you should be locking all the stuff. So this is the demo. I'm allowing it to my IP. And also, yeah, that's, I should say, and I'm going to allow every traffic, allow all in this launch visit one. So all traffic is going to be available internally, and we are going to attach the same security group with those applications as well. So if I navigate to EC2 instance, we are going to simply configure our monitoring server. Simply click it and you will see the IP address. I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to also provide the port, which is the port of Grafana, and we are going to simply type admin here. So Grafana is available, so I don't want to save anything, skip it, and I just want to skip everything. So you can use different password as well. So what we will be doing, we are going to set up our data source. Data source, as I told you, is going to be InfluxDB. So add data source, click on that, and search type influx. You will see this is going to be available. So as we are using the Docker Compose, so internal networking is going to be available. That is why we are going to use this DNS host name. Type influxDB. So why we are typing it, let me show you that part as well. So navigate to this section. So navigate to Docker Compose. Okay, sorry, navigate to this and click on this Docker Compose YAML file. So this is the reason, this is the DNS name we are going to use to connect with InfluxDB. That is why we are giving this. So as we know, it is running on 8086. So go to the default database. Inside is going to be Influx. We are going to use that admin we have provided the credential, tested. So data source is up and data source is working fine, and that's it with regard to the configuration. So let's now move to our other part, and we need to also set up our application servers as well. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to connect with my application server, and I'm going to set up the Telegraf here. So for Telegraf, I've already created one bash script. So you simply need to run that particular script, and I will be showing what is in that particular script. So if I navigate to, yeah, that's fine. Um, if I navigate to my repository, navigate to this Telegraf shell script, what it has I've created for you guys. So in AWS, we are going to always need the host IP address of that particular machine. So we are going to this is the variable which is going to help us to get that. So we are going to create one telegraf.conf file, and it has all the required configuration with regard to the server matrix scraping along with the Docker container scraping. So you simply need to copy this script, and what I will be doing here, I'm going to simply copy this and I'm going to paste it in my application server. So if I navigate to this server and I'm going to paste it, simply creating a file, telegraf, and this is the agent, guys, we need to have available on all our application servers. So make sure you should use this script on all of your application servers or EC2 instance. I'm going to make it executable, and also, as you know, this is a blank server. I don't have Docker installed on it, so I need that as well. So what I will be doing, I will be navigating to my repository, click on the build AMI shell script, and as I told you, Docker Compose version 1, 2, and Docker is going to be available. And guys, let me update you. This is the Amazon Linux machine, so I'm going to call this packages, paste it, make it executable, and run it. So all the packages are going to be available. So till then, what I will be doing, let's just finish it and update. One thing I need to also show you guys, that if you see that particular configuration file, so in this you see I've given this name monitoring dot docker dot local. So how it is going to reach to this particular domain. So what you have to do, simply navigate to AWS console. Okay, let me show you that part as well. So if I navigate to route 53, you can always search from this section if you don't find a recently visited services. So I'm going to create this hosted zone. Click on the hosted zone, and simply you need to create one hosted zone and simply call this docker.local. Click on the private hosted zone and simply create this. Sorry, you need to update the region as well. So US East 1, as we are using the default VPC, I'm going to select it, create it, and I'm going to create this same record which I've shown you guys. So I need this record, and I'm going to type this monitoring, uh, call this monitoring TTL. Yeah, that's fine, or just make it less, that's fine. So, um, monitoring server we have just set up. Um, I'm going to simply copy the IP address of this monitoring server. This is going to be fixed, and I'm going to give the private IP address of the server. And okay, I'm going to paste it here. So and that's all we need. And also, what we will be doing to just make sure we should have a connection. So let's say netcat bz type. Okay, one thing I have just not added is to update you guys. You need to have a policy attached with that particular role as well. So if I type my role, you see I don't have only sorry, I don't have that particular Route 53 policy. So I have only core policy attached to this. So I'm going to simply attach that particular policy, type Route 53. So you can narrow it down. So as this is the demo, I'm giving the full access, but definitely in production you should not give this. And I've made videos with regard to the policy, secure policy attachment. So our main focus is actually the setup of monitoring in AWS and Docker containers or any containers. So simply type monitoring docker.local, and we need to check the port of InfluxDB as well. So see, the name resolution is working fine. We are connected. So if I simply run this Telegraf script which I've created, so what it's gonna do? It is gonna pull the latest version of Telegraf, and it is gonna set up that Telegraf for us. So type docker ps -a docker logs -f telegraf. You see, we have log connected, and I mean we are able to see the logs as well. So it is going to connect with that particular uh, server, and we should be able to see our data. But for that we need to simply click on this import, and we need to set up a dashboard. So that will take time. Instead of that, what I have done, I'm going to put the JSON here. So I've created everything for you guys. So simply navigate to this Telegraf server and click on this, and click on this Telegraf. So we have dashboard section here. In dashboard section we have system means server plus Docker. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply click this guy, and I'm going to copy this and paste it here, load it. So Telegraf, or I say server plus Docker. So import it. So guys, you see, with regard to our server, this is the IP address of our Telegraf server. Let me test it, and you see metrics are already coming. So this is the system level metrics coming with regard to the uptime. You see 24 minutes has gone. So also you will be able to see the memory, how much memory is available, how much memory is free. So that is very cool that we need server level or Docker host level metrics as well. So if you drag it down, you see we have one container up and running, and the name of that particular container is Telegraf. We have also able to see the visualization with regard to the container level as well. And I'm going to spin up one container on that particular machine, so you will be able to see in a moment that one container is going to be available, and I'm going to call that particular container uh, awesome. So guys, this is our machine, and you see this is the IP address 172.31.64.206. And if I navigate to this area, you will see this is the IP address of that host machine. So everything is pretty much automated. So I'm going to run um, docker run dash dash name DevOps Muhammad Awesome, and I'm going to run this container of Nginx image with latest, and it is going to pull that. Oh, uh, what wrong we have? Okay, this is the typo. I should type. So it is going to pull that particular Nginx image, and if I do docker ps -a, so this is the container name DevOps Muhammad Asim, although it is the Nginx container, just to give you an understanding that how we can visualize that on particular server, and I've just recently launched it. So you will be seeing that currently the stats uh, with regard to that particular containers are going to be quickly you see available. So this is the container name DevOps Muhammad Asim. So you see now the running container is updated, and we are going to also update one more graph, dashboard graph. You see we don't have to even do something with regard to the I mean, you don't have to manually do the um, update with regard to the creation of this. So this is the memory load, every CPU utilization of the system, and we have also available the Docker as well, and the configuration with regard to that particular Docker containers are available. So, and also I'm going to import one more graph, and I'm going to call that particular is the Docker containers. So if I navigate to this section and click create import, and I'm going to simply navigate to my repository, and this is the system plus Docker. So in dashboard now simply navigate to the Docker JSON, click this raw, copy this, and simply paste it, load it, and I'm going to call this Docker containers, and I'm going to simply import it. And I'm going to change the matrix type. Okay, let me just refresh it. So guys, this will actually take a little time, and images information. Okay, it's not coming. Anyway, this seems to be not the great dashboard. So that particular dashboard is not really actually giving the I mean latest stuff we need. So other than that, let me also show you guys. Okay, that's fine. So guys, what we will be doing, we will be using that particular dashboard only. So we have all the Docker containers available in that particular dashboard. So okay, so if I click on the dashboards, you can create your custom dashboard as well, but we are not focusing to create all the dashboard ourselves. So okay, and I'm going to delete it. So we don't want this dashboard. So simply call this Docker, and this is the one we need actually, automated configuration of our containers, the CPU utilization, how much CPU utilize are going to be done by our containers, and memory utilization. So that is fine for us. So and what I will be doing in the last part, and I'm going to update this dashboard. So I just want to make sure that we should have a working dashboard. So we are going to use this dashboard only, system plus Docker, and I'm going to remove this one. So in the last part, I'm going to navigate to the other machine, and I'm going to simply set up my app2 machine. So guys, same step we need to do Docker installation and Telegraf. I'm going to pause the video and I will be back in a moment. So guys, what I've done, I've also updated the repository to make sure that you should have the working dashboard, and we are going to use the same dashboard, and also set up that particular same stuff with regard to the Telegraf and packages which we have already done. So if you click it, you see my other server is also shown available here. So the metrics are going to be available soon. So I've just set it up. So basic metrics are already available. So you see that um, what is the memory and all other stuff on that particular server. So on that we have no DevOps, Muhammad Asim DevOps container running. So on that particular server, I'm going to spin up another container, and we will be able to see the metrics with regard to the data. So you see CPU utilization is also updated. So it is everything working fine. We are also monitoring our server, Docker host server, and also monitoring the Docker containers as well. So simply navigate to this particular section. So as far as the updation of concern in dashboards, I've already updated that particular working JSON. So you have to simply copy this and paste it. So that is really stable and working fine. So the whole idea behind is that you just don't have to set up all the stuff. Everything is going to be available for you guys. I've created the scripts, I've created the dashboard. So anyway, and now what I will be doing, so let me show you that server as well. The final part of this I will be showing. So I'm going to spin up two containers. So let's say Docker run dash name with Muhammad Taha. uh, I'm going to run it. He's my son, and I'm going to run it with Nginx latest, and I'm going to spin up one more container on this server, and I'm going to call this Muhammad Qasim. He's my brother DevOps engineer in Canada. Uh, he's also working as a senior DevOps engineer. So, guys, we have three containers up and running. So if I navigate to this section, so we have to wait for a while, and you see the refresh time is 5 minutes. So we are not going to do anything. We are going to wait for a while. So on these containers, the metrics with regard to these containers are going to be available automatically. So we should be able to see three containers in this particular UI. So you see, it is automatically refreshing it after every 5 seconds. You can, this is the minimum, I guess. You see, I'm able to see without even refreshing my main page because it is automated refreshing. So I'm able to see two other containers which I spun up with the name Muhammad Qasim and Muhammad Taha. The average consumption of that particular of these particular container and CPU utilization, I should say the memory utilization of these particular containers are also available. Um, what now I will be doing. So that is it pretty much. I mean, simply trying to refresh it to just to see what we have to make sure you see CPU utilization is just increase. So these stats might be you can see update showing 1.2, 1.4 containers. Anyway, these are the three containers we have available and CPU utilization with regard to our Docker containers. So you can update this metric as well. So this is the overall situation, the memory utilization of that particular server, load memory, swap memory, how much is used and how much is available, total memory, and this I guess that is all you need to just make sure what is your application is behaving, how much memory and CPU and load on that particular server is you have, and how much container do you have on that particular server, what are their memory and CPU utilization consumption. So you can definitely switch between server as well. So you can have you see different containers on particular server. So this is the container which I've spun up. So you see running container. So these stats are going to be automatically updated as the metrics are going to be more and more available. Anyway, this is it, guys. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe, and share as much as you can. Thank you. Have a nice day.